So today we got 7 small town side jobs that make big money. So I'm going to show you 7 jobs that you can do with very little overhead. So everybody says the same thing now. If you want to make real money, you have to leave your small town, move to the big city and chase opportunity where everybody else is going. And typically they do that. They say that when you get out of school, because it's typically the truth. But in many situations, the landscape is changing. A lot of people are moving to small towns to get away from the big city. Because in a big city, usually one more face in a crowded market, you're one more person offering the same service, one more business fighting for attention. That's a lot of competition. But in a small town, if you can solve a real problem and do it reliably, you can become the go-to person faster than you think. That's the hidden advantage of small town living. You do not need thousands of customers. You need just a handful of people who trust you, talk about you, and call you first. So the first one, now this is one you didn't think about, most people don't think about, is a mobile notary and loan signing agent. Now, a lot of situations, people need the notary on the spot. They just do. And you can make some pretty good money for just an hour's worth of work and a little commuting. First up is one thing that a lot of people skip right past. It sounds boring, but boring can be profitable. That's becoming a mobile notary, or even better, a loan signing agent. Now, a regular notary might not seem like a huge opportunity at first. People think of it as something they do once in a while at the bank or shipping store, at the real estate office. But when you become mobile, you're not just stamping papers. You're bringing convenience to people who either can't travel, don't want to travel, or are handling important documents on a deadline. And when you move into loan signings, that's where the money jumps. These are mortgage closings, refinancing documents, and real estate paperwork. In a small town, title companies, lawyers, and lenders often don't want to send their own people driving way into the country just to get a set of signatures done. So if you're reliable, organized, and professional, you can fill that gap. Meet them at their house, office, or even a coffee shop. Guide them through where to sign, notarize what needs notarizing, and make sure the documents are completed properly. The pay? The basic mobile notary might bring in a smaller fee, but loan signings can often pay $75 to $150 or more per appointment. Now, and that also depends on where you live, and that also depends on your mileage and your time. Once a couple of real estate agents, title offices, or attorneys trust you, you can become their first call. In a small town, that kind of repeat business matters more than flashy marketing ever will. If you can do 3 signings on a Saturday, that can turn into a very solid side income. So next, we got small engine repair. If you're mechanically inclined at all, this one is gold. Small engine repair is one of those old school side jobs that still make great money because so many people own equipment and fewer people know how to fix it. Think about what's sitting in garages, sheds, and barns all over a small town. Lawnmowers, weed eaters, leaf blowers, chainsaws, pressure washers. Yeah, pressure washers. Those things can gunk up in a minute. And if you're on a job and your washer fails, you're in trouble. Generators, another thing you're in trouble. Snowblowers, riding mowers, maybe even ATVs. But these tools are time-critical items. They're your tools. You got to have them. People depend on this equipment. But the second it won't start, runs rough, or quits under load, most owners hit a wall. And let me tell you, trying to get that weed eater going and the clock's ticking and you come back and the guy's still messing with the weed eater and you're like, what have you been doing all day? Well, I'm trying to fix the weed eater. As a contractor, I know about these things. So a good small tool man, a tool repair, a small engine primarily, it's gold. A lot of problems are not massive mechanical failures. Sometimes, almost always, it's a dirty carburetor, old fuel, a clogged filter, a bad spark plug, or a worn pull cord. The issue isn't always complicated. The issue is that the owner either doesn't have the time, the knowledge, or the patience to deal with it. And like I said, I don't want to pay my guy the big bucks to sit on the tailgate of the truck messing with the weed eater, you know? Anyways, I digress. The strategy: offer pickup and drop-off service, or work out of your garage or a small shop space at home. Convenience alone can set you apart. We had a guy that would come to the job sites. He'd go around the housing tract we're working on. Oh, the tool guy's coming on Friday, man. Get these things fixed. I don't care what it costs, you know. It's like, sure. Big box stores usually sell equipment, but they never fix it. You're not going to get anything fixed at Lowe's or Home Depot or the lumberyard. Local repair shops are often overloaded and customers getting tired of hearing, we can look at it in 2 or 3 weeks. And I know we've all been there. If you can tell a neighbor, I'll pick up your mower today and get it back to you in 2 days, you're instantly valuable. You're their best friend. Fast turnaround is a premium service in the middle of mowing season. That matters a lot. Okay. Number 3, junk removal at curbside flipping. Number 3, junk removal and curbside flipping. This one has one of the lowest barriers to entry out of the entire list. If you have a truck, a trailer, a willingness to work, you've got the foundation for a junk removal business. Pretty good gig. In small towns, people collect stuff. Old appliances, broken furniture, scrap metal, yard debris, leftover remodel materials, old fencing, barn cleanouts, garage cleanouts, you name it. A lot of homeowners don't want to haul it themselves. They may be far away. They don't have a pickup truck. They don't do manual labor. The doctor doesn't do manual labor. The dentist doesn't do manual labor, but they'll pay to have it done. Trash service may not take oversized items. My last trash service was pretty darn picky. And some people just want the mess gone now. The strategy? Charge a flat fee to remove the load based on how much space it takes up in your trailer or truck. Typical loads might bring in 100, 250 or more. It's definitely more up near where I used to live in the Roaring Fork Valley. But here's where the side job gets really interesting. The double dip. Not everything people call junk is actually junk. Break time. Some of it can be repaired and sold. Some of it can be scrapped. Some of it can be cleaned up and flipped online or locally. An old dryer, grill, tool chest, metal grate, lawn cart, or piece of furniture may have value that the homeowner doesn't want to deal with. You get paid to take it away. Then you can make money a second time by fixing, scrapping, or selling it. That's why this hustle can outperform what people expect. In a small town, word spreads fast too. If you help one person clean out a shed, there's a good chance their cousin, neighbor, coworker will hear about you next. It's messy work sometimes, but it can be profitable. Plus, you're your own boss. The person just wants it gone. Number 4, specialized exterior cleaning. Now, everybody has heard about power washing by now, but the smarter move in a small town is to go to narrower and more specialized. And instead of just saying, I do pressure washing, you can offer services like gutter cleaning, downspout flushing, roof moss removing, solar panel cleaning, deck washing, porch and entry cleanup, seasonal winter-ready exterior service, and there's also springtime get-ready service. Once all the snow is gone, it leaves one heck of a mess. That kind of positioning makes you sound less like a guy with a machine and more like somebody solving a very specific homeowner problem. If your town has lots of trees like mine did, big maples, gutters become a recurring problem. And if you don't clean those gutters, they plug up, they fill with water, and they freeze and they explode. That's what happened to my house for many years. And where the explosion hit, the water would drain down, run into the basement. It ended up caving it in after a lot of years. So if you got older homeowners, two-story houses, or people who hate ladders, there's a steady demand. The strategy: bundle services together. Don't just clean gutters, clean them. Inspect the downspouts, clear the trouble spots, and offer a seasonal package. And in snow country, there's going to be heat tape. It's got to be tested. These gutters do a lot of work. Maybe in the fall you do leafy, heavy cleanouts. Maybe before winter you can check the drainage pipe and prep the home. Maybe during the holidays you add light hanging as an upsell. If you're already up there safely, hang the Christmas lights, put up the ornaments. The gutter cleaning job can often bring in 100 to 150 and may only take about an hour, sometimes less depending on the house. Why it works: this is recurring work. Once someone trusts you on their property, they usually call you again in the spring and fall. That means you're not constantly starting from zero. So you get in there, you do the initial tune-up, and then you maintain it. And people want that. And in a small town, repeat customers are the backbone of a strong side business. Number 5, elderly tech support and setup. This is one of the most underrated opportunities on the list. A lot of small towns, my town, have an older population, and many of these folks are smart, capable, hardworking people, simply did not grow up with today's tech. They don't want to sit on hold with some giant company giving them tech support. They don't want to talk to the robot. They don't want to watch 22-minute tutorial on YouTube just to get the TV connected to Wi-Fi. They want a real person to come over, explain it clearly, and fix the issue without making them feel foolish. And sometimes it's as little as programming the remote control. That is where elderly tech support and setup becomes valuable. The strategy: you're not really selling tech. You're selling patience, trust, and simplicity. Services could include setting up a home Wi-Fi, connecting printers, installing smart TVs and streaming devices, setting up tablets or smartphones, helping with video calling apps, installing security cameras or video doorbells, showing them how to use email, photos, or messaging. The pay: a typical visit can bring in 60 to 100 or more, depending on what you're doing and how long you stay. Why it works in a small town: people would rather call somebody local they know than roll the dice on a stranger from a larger service company. And when you're kind, clear, and dependable, they remember it. Better yet, they tell their friends. The referral network can become extremely strong in older communities. Number 6, property management for weekend owners. If your town is near a lake, a mountain area, hunting land, ski area, fishing destination, or any kind of getaway spot, this one can be a strong niche. A lot of people own second homes, cabins, or vacation properties in small towns. They live somewhere else full time, and that means they worry constantly about what's been happening when they're gone. Did the heat go out? Did a pipe freeze? Did storm damage happen? Is somebody trespassing? Did the lawn get out of control? Is there a leak nobody caught? That creates demand for a home watch or light property management service. A strategy? Charge a monthly retainer to check on the property regularly. Walk through the house, inspect the outside, make sure utilities are functioning, and send updates to the owner. For example, you might charge around $100 a month for weekly check-ins, depending on travel and scope. Now, here's where the money can get bigger. When something goes wrong, you become the local contact person. You coordinate with the plumber, the electrician, handyman, landscaper, snow removal, or cleanup crew. And you're also there for the insurance adjuster. And you're also sending pictures and damage reports to the owner. Branch goes through the roof in the snowstorm, goes through the window, and it sets, and then you show up on your routine maintenance and catch it. Holy smokes, you're a hero. And if you organize your route well, you can check several homes in one morning. See, that's the whole deal. You do the whole neighborhood. That can turn into steady monthly income, plus extra money when problems need to be handled. Number 7, driveway sealing and patching. I said number 7 was a big one, and here it is. Driveway sealing and patching is one of those services hiding in plain sight. In small towns and rural areas, there are asphalt driveways everywhere, and weather beats them up hard. Sun, rain, snow, ice, salt, freeze-thaw cycles. It takes a toll. Driveways fade, crack, and start looking rough. But a lot of homeowners put it off because they assume it requires a huge paving company or a giant expense. That's where a smaller local operator can step in. The strategy: offer crack filling, minor patching, and seal coating for residential driveways. The visual difference between before and after is dramatic, which makes it easy to market. The pay: a standard seal job can often bring in $300 to $600, and the labor itself may take only a few hours once you know the process and have your system down. Because what you do is you set up a few houses on the block, give them a decent deal, make sure you got a good helper, boom, 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 get your process going, and you're going to knock out several jobs in a day. Why this works so well? The demand is visible. You can literally drive through neighborhoods and spot potential customers. Gray, dried out, cracked asphalt is practically an advertisement for your service. And because the results are so noticeable, one completed job can lead to neighbors asking almost immediately. This is a side job with strong curb appeal, repeat potential, and great word of mouth value. When you step back and look at all 7 of these side jobs, there's one thing they all have in common. They reward reliability more than anything. Not a fancy logo, not a flashy website, not some huge business loan. In a small town, your reputation is your marketing. If you return calls, show up on time, do honest work, charge fair prices, and treat people right, you can build real income fast you can build real income faster than people realize. That's opportunity. You don't have to move away to make good money. You do not have to wait for the perfect moment. And you do not need to start with all 7. Just pick one. Pick the one that fits your skills, your tools, your personality, and the kind of work you actually wouldn't mind doing on evenings or weekends. Then start small. Do the job well, and let word of mouth do its thing. If you found this helpful, hit the like button so more people can find the video. And in the comments, tell me this. Which one of the 7 side jobs could you actually see yourself starting? Well, I'm Fred Hammer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.